Now that we've got the $310 billion cancellation of student loans, what should your approach be to your student loans? I've got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, so we've been talking about it for almost a decade, right? Probably more than that. This student loan crisis, right? As we've seen over economic expansions and contractions, expansion, so on, you can see mortgage debt grow and drop and grow. You can see credit card debt grow, drop, but student loans have just been straight line. They have just been accelerating. Now, $1.75 trillion. We've been talking about it for a while, or they've been talking about it for a while, canceling student loan debt, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, all of it, right? And we finally got, a couple weeks ago, White House announced their plan, okay? It's $310 approximately billion, have no idea where that money's gonna come from, to cancel up to $20,000 of student loan debt, eligible student loan debt for eligible individuals. Most people, that $20,000 is made up of $10,000 if you're eligible of private loans, and then if you also qualified for the Pell Grant, then you can do another $10,000, okay? So many people are just gonna see a $10,000 reduction or cancellation in their student loan. So what should your approach be? After going through that cancellation process, what should your approach be with your student loans, and what's the current state of the student loan debt crisis? All right, so currently $1.75 trillion in total student loans, that's federal and private. If we just assume that the entire package will be used to reduce this number, the entire cancellation package will be used to reduce this number, that's gonna bring the total student loan debt from 1.75 down to, call it 1.4, maybe 1.45, something like that. Still an enormous number. And if you go back and look at the charts, that's pretty much where the student loan debt level was in 2018, 2019. So yes, that's an enormous number. I don't know where it's going to come from, and really just rewinds the clock a couple of years. It's not going to solve the problem, which is why we're talking about this. So on average, if you have student loans, your average balance is just about $30,000. Again, assume that we can take $10,000 right off of that. The average balance is $20,000. That's still a lot of money. Still a lot of money. About 92% of all student loans are federal. The remaining is private. 55% of students from four-year colleges have student loans. That's a lot. Half the people that go to college have student loans. 57% of student loans from private, nonprofit 4 years, okay, have education debt as well. But about, 1 out of every 2 people is funding college with some sort of student loan. This one might shock you. The most student loans are held by people between the ages of 35 and 49. That is, take a look at this chart here, $622 billion. So, what's that? Almost a third of all student loans out there are held by folks between the ages of 35 and 49. Let me say that differently. 15 to 25, 30 years past going to college. So this is the crisis, okay? And that's what I'm going to talk about. Okay, what should your next steps be? A decent chunk for people just graduating college right now, but the second largest segment is folks that have graduated recently, so age 25 to 34. Okay, so what should your approach be to your student loans? Okay, no matter where you fall within how much, and no matter where you fall within that age, what should your approach be? Okay, well, I understand the moral hazard and the confusion that comes with this cancellation. Okay, it could almost discourage those that have worked hard. So in my example, now this is 20 years ago. Okay, but I would fall within that age group of where the largest amount of student loans are still held. So you might find yourself here. But for me, my folks they sacrificed and they saved up for college, and they helped with tuition for both myself and my brother. My brother ended up needing some student loans, and I did not. They were trying to make it even, whatever, okay? But then outside of that, I was responsible for my room and board and some of those other expenses. And I worked. I didn't work my freshman year, but I worked my sophomore, junior, and senior year. That's right. So I played a little bit of college hockey, and so I had 5 years in college because some things didn't transfer after I had an injury. And so anyway, even while I was playing college sports, I was still working. Okay, I was working in the summers, and I was working while I was at school because I didn't want to have the student loans. And so to me, like, I know this is confusing. If that's you, and therefore you avoided student loans to now have others receive some sort of benefit, I know. However, the learning that I got from working through college has paid dividends, okay? So I'm just trusting that that's the case for you as well, and that if it's you worked and didn't have student loans, that you're not bitter by this. The other angle is, I would also hope that those of you that are benefiting from this or see the benefit of it, don't then try to game the system. To me, I would not take this as a precedence to, well, they're going to do this again. They're going to cancel student loans again in the next couple years, or they're going to continue to change the repayment system and pretty much all student loans are going to be forgiven. I wouldn't go there either. So to me, if the average person that's borrowed has 30,000 student loans and you take 10,000 away from that, you still have 20,000. I would get aggressive. I would get aggressive about student loans. A colleague of mine, when they first started working and talking to Kevin Korhorn, who's the founder of Korhorn Financial Group, and he was just sort of talking about life and talking about things, and this individual said, "Yeah, well, we've got an aggressive plan. We're going to get married soon, and we're living in an apartment, or we're going to live in an apartment, right? And we've got a plan to pay the student loans off within 5 years, and then get a house and all that." And Kevin didn't even talk about the little intricate details of this person's financial life, just said, pay them off in 18 months. And the individual said, wait, no, you don't understand. We've worked their budget. I've pinched as much as we can. It's going to be about 5 years, and then we'll be able to make progress after that. He said, it doesn't matter. 18 months. There's nothing financially more important than getting out from under that student loan debt. And so what did this individual do? He didn't argue or pout or whatever. I'm thinking of my kids when I'm giving them some challenging instruction. Didn't pout, whatever. Got it done. Paid them off in 18 months. And that means they were able to buy a house sooner. And that means they were able to start a family with more financial confidence sooner. And save up aggressively for retirement sooner. And do a lot of other things. This was 20 years ago that this happened. So I would encourage you to have that aggressive posture. Aggressively pay down your student loans. Don't be distracted by what this could mean, the current changes with student loans. If you are on a new income-based repayment program, if they actually flesh that out, whatever, and you're able to work a certain process, then do that. But get aggressive about your student loans. Don't get used to letting them linger and just try to carry on with your financial life and kind of carry this weight with you. Get aggressive, get these things paid off. And then the second thing that I would tell you is baked into the proposal is a new income-based repayment plan for those that might qualify. If you have student loans below $12,000, if your income is below a certain level, be aware of what those student loan forgiveness programs are. I want you to work as diligently and aggressively as possible at paying your student loans off. But if you are eligible for a forgiveness program, then make sure you're aware of that plan and you work it. I don't have the stats right in front of me, but a significant number of people apply for their student loans to be forgiven each year through these income-based repayment programs, and the vast majority get denied. Why? Because they haven't been paying long enough. They weren't aware of the exact rules, and so they applied for forgiveness, and they didn't know that they weren't on track. They weren't doing what they needed to do. So if you are someone where a current forgiveness program aligns with your current situation, know the rules of that and then work that plan in conjunction with the rest of your financial plan. Work with your certified financial planner. See where this goal of getting out from under your student loan debt, where that fit in priority with your other financial goals. To me, I love the idea of contributing as much as you need to from within your 401k to get the full company match. Maybe planning on paying down some other high interest credit card debt if you have it, and then putting everything you've got towards these student loans. But that's in general. For your unique, specific financial situation, work with your certified financial planner, see what makes the most sense, and just don't get used to having this weight of these student loans just follow you deep into your adult financial life. So work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.